Yes. Vad vill jag prata om? What did I want to talk about? So becoming an international student, you're about to embark on this whole new chapter in your life that'll hopefully be very exciting and full of meaningful experiences. I mean, not only will you be studying for a degree at the university, but you'll be also doing that in another country, in another culture, and what might even be a language completely different from the one you were taught, the one you grew up with. And upon arriving in your new country, there's a lot of things you have to figure out. And I thought I'd share a little bit about what it's been like for me. So I do study here as an international student in Italy, the University of Bari, and I thought I'd share a little bit about what my first time here, what my first time has been like. So I've been here for about 3 months in Bari, and one of the first things you have to figure out upon arriving is where you're going to live, short term and long term, and you might even be fortunate enough to have figured something out long term. But usually, for many of us, that's not the case. We don't know anyone here. We need to start from scratch. So I was fortunate enough to find something within a week. And before I found this permanent place, I was staying at this hostel that I warmly recommend, David's Olive Tree Hostel, where I met a lot of beautiful people from all over the world, mostly backpackers, but all of us created this kind of international hub, and it was so nice to just talking to a lot of these people, sharing their worldviews, their life experiences, what they were up to in their lives. So I would warmly recommend that place if you actually plan to study here in Bari as an international student. But other than that, I would, for me at least, the way I got something permanent was through Facebook. There's also a few agencies that could help you here in Italy or in Bari with finding something, but usually they take a fee for that, and it's usually a bit more expensive. But I'd say in general for students, especially if you, like me, you don't know the language that well, it's quite hard to find something. So that might be an option, going with the agencies that could help you with finding something. But for me, I joined a lot of Facebook groups and got in contact that these Facebook groups, there were private people that were announcing a vacant room or an apartment that they owned. And that's usually how you initiate contact. You write that you're interested, and then you meet with this landlord and go from there. But the emotional component of it, it's already stressful enough knowing that you have to find someplace new, something permanent where you have to live, especially if you don't know anyone in the new country that you're about to study in. So it's already stressful enough, and I would advise to be patient about it, to not have this negative internal dialogue that you're not going to find anything, but instead be open-minded. Of course, throw in a few sentences in your head that you're going to make it, you're going to find something eventually, although it might take some time. And it just helps, at least for me, just, conserving the energy and putting it instead on actually finding something. So another thing that might get frustrating, or was a bit frustrating for me, was the bureaucracy of it all, the administrative process, especially if you're arrive in a country where this process is quite messy, like it was for me here in Bari. Again, I just advise on being patient, that you just take one step at a time and conserve, I guess, that energy. Not putting too much energy on being frustrated with the whole process, because there are some things that are definitely going to get you frustrated. One of the things for me, for instance, was that I needed to get a document that my home country required from the student secretariat of the university. Process that you'd think would go like in one instance, in one meeting that you'd have with you would have with them, but it took about 3 weeks to get that process. It was just a specific document that I needed that took 3 weeks. So yeah, patience, I'd recommend. You just take one day at a time, breathe from time to time, do some meditation if you need to, and usually, and then you'll see, like day by day, hour per hour, things will go through with the bureaucracy or the administrative process. Things will work out with finding a place eventually, whether you have to extend your short-term stay or whether you're lucky enough that, for me, for instance, you find something quite instantly. So yeah, I'd advise just being, I think the whole takeaway of this video would probably be just to not waste too much energy with being frustrated, because you're going to be stressed enough. A lot of energy is going to go to being stressed about finding a place and getting all the paperwork done. So just having frustration, having anger, I'd say that's normal. It's normal to feel frustrated or angry about the process, but I wouldn't advise to put too much energy into that. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be it.